here's my latest purchase. I just picked this trailer up for 200 bucks. Needs a couple things here and there, but for 200 bucks, it seems like a pretty decent trailer. I have no idea about the weight rating. Whole thing is steel construction. Obviously, it's missing the top of the fenders, the lights. Well, you know, the wires are just hanging down there. The trailer brakes, you know, they're not connected to anything, so they're not doing much. But the first thing I'm going to tackle is this hitch. This is a pintle that I borrowed. It's a little ridiculous if you ask me. I don't think I should have to have a rise of that far just to hook up to the trailer when just, you know, you eyeball it, the bottom of that tongue pretty much lines up with the hitch. So today I'm going to see what I can do about moving this thing down because I don't even have a pintle hook. So I don't want to have to buy this whole setup to elevate it 9 inches if I can just get a straight shaft one. So let's get it in the garage where it's a little bit warmer and get going on it. Well, here it is inside. It's just over 6 foot wide. I think it was 64 inches wide and it's 14 foot long. So not big enough to put a vehicle on, but plenty big for a skid steer or something like that. And the main thing I want to address is the tongue height. I'd like to get this lunette ring down to about right here. So I'll start tearing into it and we'll see what we can do. This is a factory built trailer, but this whole tongue setup here just screams sketchy to me. I just don't know that this was original or if they added this to move the hitch height from here to here, because if you look down here, you've got your 4 bolt holes, and then down here we've got a hole here and here, and I'm assuming one here and here. And then you've got things like this. These are not okay on safety chains, on your tie down chains, anything. Do not put these on your trailer anywhere. They will not pass. If the DOT does stop and give you a look over, these are not good for anything. The trailer wiring has got this whole mess in it with, I don't know, the old style plug on it with an adapter. But forget all this, it's getting replaced because even if that wasn't that bad, you get to the trailer here and, well, it's got 1.5 wires connected still. Also, this lunette ring has special lock bolts where the end of the bolt has been smashed over with something, so getting the nut off is going to be nearly impossible. There's also this thing down here. I don't know what this is. I sure hope that wasn't a safety chain at some point. Who knows? I was already planning on replacing these bolts. That's a little scary how easy those just snapped off. I think it's welded. Yeah, it's welded on the front edge here too. So welded here, welded on the back, and then the 2 sides. So I guess I'll have to, I don't know what I'm going to do here. This thing has had stuff welded all over the place. Something here. Here, there's a spot right there, and then both that side and this side have this plate that has been torched off. It was built back in the mid-80s, so it's had a pretty long life. Let me get this stuff out of the way quick before I try and take that lunette ring off. These links are really handy, but like I said, do not use them on your trailer. They are not designed to take any type of actual load. Sometimes you'll see a load stamped in the side of them. I don't on these. It's usually not very much, whatever it is. The rest of the chain doesn't seem bad. I'll just have to make a better attachment point. I should figure out if I can actually weld these straight to the trailer. I can't remember if they can be welded to it or if they're supposed to be bolted. It is cold in here. I got the heat going, but it's just not taking the edge off. It was single digits for the high today. Can I even get this off of here? Ah, there we go. I got this bad boy for Christmas. Been waiting to try it out. Perfect. It's great at cutting trailer wiring. Now I know this Milwaukee just made that seem really easy, but I want you DeWalt guys to realize that was 6 whole wires I cut there. I discovered something. It looks like this is welded all the way behind that plate. I was really hoping it was just bolted on and welded, you know, up front here and in the back, but it sure as heck looks like that weld goes straight down inside there on both sides of this plate. Which means the only way to get it apart is going to be to cut these plates off, which I really did not want to do because those actually aren't welded on there too horribly. There's also a seam right here. I don't know why they would have ever cut this piece off and welded it back on. That doesn't make sense to me. If you look in there, I don't know if you can see. You sort of can. There's definitely 4 bolt holes in there. So at one point, this was bolted down here. And it will be again. It's just turning into more work than I wanted it to be. I wanted to just yank it off, stick it on the bottom. I'll have to rip that off there, obviously, but no big deal. So what I did back here was come in flat with the angle grinder, kind of cut both sides at once. I'm not going to be able to do that over here. Not sure what's going to happen there. But I'll come up front, do the same thing here and on the other side, and I guess I'll figure it out. Keep pecking away and get this thing off of here. All right, new plan. I'm cutting off the jack. Well, you get the point. I'll turn you on when it's off. Where's my striker? Seriously, where's my striker at? Come on. Oh, there it is. There we go. Oh, by the way, I decided to chop off the whole tongue. Once again, DeWalt guys, 6 wires in mere seconds. Well, it's got pretty hazy in here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's pretty hazy in here after all that grinding and torching. Plus my battery's about dead. So I'm gonna run you through my thought process here quick. I'm gonna put the camera away for the night and I'll bring it back out in the morning. So at some point, this lower part had been cut off and welded back on right here, and this top portion added. I don't know why this bottom part was cut off, but it was. I was right, there's 4 bolt holes in it. But the problem is, as soon as I take this off, flip it upside down, and bolt it back on from the bottom, I'm bolting onto a piece that's just welded right here and across the top. It'd be okay maybe if there was a fish plate connecting all that, but I can't do that because this plate is going to be right there in the way. In the process of cutting the jack off to be able to cut this off, I couldn't get to the jack, so I just realized if I cut this all the way off, I can cut all the way down this seam on the jack, probably not even worry about the backside, just grab the jack and see if I can't just twist it off of there. That's the plan anyway. This piece is not original, so it's going to come off. I'm going to take this piece, bolt it on right here, which has never been cut on, never been modified. This is original trailer frame. I feel much better about that than bolting on a piece that's, like I said, welded back on. At least this is solid with everything else. I might leave this little camel hump thing. I don't know yet. Kind of like it. We'll see. The jack will move back in here, which is kind of a letdown because I'll lose some of the storage space for chains and whatnot. Oh yeah! There we go. One 10,000-pound jack removed. Remember when all I was going to do was take 4 bolts out, take the lunette ring off, put it down here and bolt it on? This got a lot more involved.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Well, I finally got that ring down to just the bare metal, nothing extra. Got it pretty well cleaned up, smoothed up enough to where it'll just look like a plain casting again. This will be the bottom side. I'm gonna keep the side that was facing up, just because that's where the stampings are at. Like I said, though, it'll be on the bottom side. It's gonna go about like that. Spend a fair amount of time getting that clamped up, make sure it's on there good and straight before I tack it on there. On a side note, for those that have wondered what a triple tap extension cord is for, it's so you can run all 3 of your grinders with the flap disc, I guess that's a grinding wheel, flap disc and cutoff wheel, along with your cordless grinder. Because sometimes you just need them all. Oh, it's all mocked up, got 2 clamps on it, probably tack it in the back on both sides, weld along the front, and then I'll take the clamps off and buzz down both sides of it. And just like that, it's welded on there. The next step is going to be to put these back on here. run a bead along the bottom side, and then I'm probably going to bolt through those holes again just because they're already there. Going for the belt and suspender look, I guess. But before I do any more welding on the lunette ring here, I'm going to put the jack back on, probably somewhere in that area, so that way I can at least move it outside if I want to, and get it off this floor jack. Got the jack relocated, fit really nice right inside the front of this A-frame here. Got it welded in place, the quick handle still works. Comes up just below that bottom tube there. A couple more hours and we'll have this thing looking really nice.
2 weeks later.
And it's done. Really all you missed was me welding these plates on the side and bolting them on. I did go back and weld a piece of plate up the front and across the top. Kind of enclosed the whole thing. I think it turned out pretty darn nice. I've got the chains put back on there. The jack is firmly welded across the top here and then down the one side, so that's not coming off. And you can see it's a nice level hitch setup now. The trailer just sits nice and level, goes right into the vehicle, and no drop hitch or rise is needed. It just fits, it's nice and easy, and looks like it was done right. Thanks for watching this, guys. It's been a long one, and probably pretty boring. If you guys stuck around this long, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more, I've filmed these out of order, and I've got a couple of videos I've already posted. If you missed them, go ahead and watch. I took the wheels off and checked all the brakes, and I've done some other work on it already. Stick around, I've got more to come on this thing if you did like it, and I'll see you then.